Hey everyone, I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and today with my friends from AllFreeKnitting.com, I'm going to show you how to make a Niddy Noddy out of components you would find at your local hardware store. And this Niddy Noddy that we're going to build today is going to be really easy to assemble and disassemble, and you can make it many different lengths so that way you can get multiple different size skeins for fitting onto your Swift, for making really long skeins, for dyeing, and whatever else you would want to wind a skein for. To start off, I got 3 pieces of 1/2 inch, 2 foot long PVC piping. One of the pieces I kept at 2 feet long. The second piece I cut into 2 12-inch pieces. And the third piece I cut into 4 6-inch pieces. You can either cut the PVC piping yourself with a hacksaw, or you can have your home improvement store make the cuts for you. Sometimes there will be an additional charge for this. You'll need 2 T-junctions, T-coupling pieces. These are non-threaded, so that means they don't have the spirals inside them where screws would fit. You'll need 4 1/2 inch end caps to finish off the Niddy Noddy, and you'll need up to 2 coupling pieces. These can be used to connect different pieces of the pipe. These can be used to connect different pieces of piping together to make it longer if needed. But to make our basic 4-foot Niddy Noddy, I'm going to remove these pieces right here, and so we're left with 1 1-foot piece of 1/2 inch pipe, 4 6-inch pieces of 1/2 inch piping, the 2 T junction pieces, and the 4 end caps. To start, we're going to add these T-junctions onto our 1-foot piece. And you want to add them so that they're perpendicular to each other. If you look here, you can see that one of the pieces is laying flat on the ground and the other one is sticking straight up and down. And I'll also mention that this seems like it's fairly short, but I want you to keep in mind, and I guess I'll show you an example at the end, that the final skein you'll get from wrapping around the Niddy Noddy, because you'll be wrapping it over and up and around, the final length of the skein is actually 4 times the length of this piece. So by having a 1-foot Niddy Noddy, we'll end up with a skein that is 4 feet long. Next, we're going to make the ends. So we're going to insert these 6-inch pieces into the other parts of the T-junction. And what's great about these smooth T-junctions is that the piping fits in, but then it's also really easy to take back out. And this is what is going to let us have a Niddy Noddy that can be multiple sizes. There. And finally, so you can see, you're going to add the end caps. The end caps are optional, but it gives the Niddy Noddy a bit of a finished look, and it also, if the cut ends weren't super smooth, gives your yarn some protection as well. And so one of the benefits about making a Niddy Noddy out of PVC piping is it's really easy to store. You know, you can just twist it and it'll lay flat, or you can even take the ends off to store it. But by using a coupling piece, you can actually lengthen the center piece. And so now we have a 2-foot Niddy Noddy center piece, which would give us an 8-foot skein. And so this skein that I'm throwing in right here would measure 8 feet view all the way around. And so this would be a skein that's too big for most yarn swiths, but it would be handy for making long repeats for dyeing yarn. You know, and with another connector, by adding my 2-foot piece in, I'm gonna have to move the camera. We now have a 4-foot length. So suddenly you can start making really huge skeins, which would come in handy when you're dyeing yarn. But most of the time, I would not be using these extra pieces, and I would just be using this little bit right here. But you know, you can cut. I kept my 3rd extra piece 2 feet long, so that way I would need fewer coupling pieces. But you can cut, you know, have them cut into a variety of different lengths, or, you know, if necessary, if I want, you know, a 6-inch lengthening, I could swap out one of the 12-inch pieces on one of these arms. But anyway, this is a very cheap way to get multiple different length Niddy Noddies. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make your own Niddy Noddy. I am Rebecca from Chemknits, and this video was brought to you by AllFreeKnitting.com.